Back to the 1986, that's the model, Marshall JMP, it's the base model, and I've replaced the capacitor, and you see I've put a dog bone style ones that some of the earlier Marshalls used. And I've also replaced the what's called a slope resistor, that 56K. I put one in that's a bit more sort of period correct rather than the cheap Far East offering that it had originally was fitted. Excuse me. So it's switched on and it's up and running, and we can now, if you remember, this voltage coming from the cathode of V2. It's now 146 volts, and if you remember, the capacitor seemed to be passing DC, driving all the controls crazy, and the amp was really noisy. And now there's 0 volts, and that's what it should be. The controls are working fine now. It is switched on. You may be able to hear the hiss. And looking at the faulty capacitor, this silver mica capacitor, I've got it clipped onto the bench multimeter, and it's on resistance, and you can see it's behaving like a 75k resistor, so it's very leaky. I've come across this before with this style of capacitor. I don't think do they have an actual manufacturer's code on it? No, it just says 250 plus or minus 5%, 500 volts, so not a very good component. So there we have it. I'll service the rest of the amp, check every single resistor, make sure they're all within tolerance, and the capacitors, clean the pots, do the bias, put it on an oscilloscope, measure the power output, and make sure everything's as it should be. But the fault's fixed, and not be too long before it's all put back together. So I hope it's been of interest, and thanks for watching.